So far this week, as we've been talking about hallowing God's name, we've heard from Exodus 20, verse 7, the commandment to never misuse the name of the Lord. Yesterday, we talked about how David, looking at the stars and the moon and the animals and the wonders of creation, praises God for how majestic the name of the Lord is in all the earth and all that we see. And today I want to encourage you to read Psalm 34. That's 22 verses long. And Psalm 34 also talks about the name of the Lord. Our verse for today is verse 3, which says, "O magnify the Lord with me, let us exalt his name together." And this is an invitation to worship and to praise the name of the Lord. Now, Psalm 34 is a prayer of thanksgiving for deliverance from trouble. And as you continue to read after verse 3, you'll hear how the psalmist, and this is also a psalm of David, that David says, "I sought the Lord, and he answered me and delivered me from all my fears. This poor soul cried and was heard by the Lord and was saved from every trouble. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Happy are those who take refuge in him." And the psalm just goes on. And Psalm 34 is a wonderful psalm. And what David is doing is he's talking about, let me share my testimony. Let me tell you what the Lord has done for me. And then let us exalt, let us lift up, let us worship, let us praise the name of the Lord together. There's something about hearing how God is working in the lives of other people that encourages and strengthens all of our faith. This is why coming to worship or joining us in worship online is so important, because our faith will not always be at a level 10, right? It won't always be at peak strength. There are times that our circumstances, our health, our family, relational situations, there are things that cause our faith to weaken a bit or to be stressed. And when that happens, hearing the faith and the testimony of other people can encourage us to keep going. Sometimes it's the faith of other people that helps us keep going, and sometimes it'll be your faith that helps someone else to persevere and to be resilient when they're going through a difficult time. And that's why exalting God's name together and sharing what God has done for us is such an important part of being in a community of faith, because that mutual faith and encouragement and testimony helps us all to keep growing in faith and to believe that, as Psalm 34 says in verse 17, when the righteous cry for help, the Lord hears and rescues them from all their troubles. Then verse 19, many are the afflictions of the righteous. You notice it doesn't say we won't have afflictions if we're righteous. It's many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord rescues them from them all. The Lord redeems the life of his servants. I pray if you're going through trouble right now, that God will be with you, that God will hear your prayers, and God will answer you in a way that you can see and will be able to testify about in the future.